Now, there has been a lot of talk about this picture in particular. This is the Alameda Dive Team, and as you can see, there's something circled in yellow, and this is about the area where Kiely's vehicle was found. Now, YouTuber Tyler Feller actually reached out to the Alameda Sheriff's Department to get some clarification on this. He actually does play a clip of that phone call, but I'm just going to summarize it. So he called the Alameda Sheriff's Department. They gave him the number to their public information officer. That person called him. He asked about the picture, and then they said they would call him back. They told him that Alameda allowed a group of volunteer divers to use their boat and go help in the search for Kiely. Now, I did look into the Alameda Dive Team, and the Alameda Dive Team is specifically made up of volunteer divers, so I'm not sure if it was Alameda's volunteer dive team or a separate volunteer group. He told Tyler that when they arrived, there was a chain of command that they were getting instruction from, and that they had explicit instructions to look for Kiely's phone and Kiely's phone only. They were told to only go 25 feet out. So that yellow marker is actually where the 25-foot mark is. They had an anchor out there to mark that distance. Specific group of volunteer divers were only looking for Kiely's phone, and they only went 25 feet out. They never passed the 25-foot mark, and they searched all day and were not able to find anything. And then on 8/13, on one of the flyers they posted to their Facebook account, it says One Marine/Dive Team. So this next clip is where they're going to specifically mention the Alameda team.
Yeah, the ping for the data points and everything were near the water. It's hard to tell an exact pinpoint or anything like that, but just as much on land as it was in water.
That's what I was told, is that it was near the water and searches took place near that vicinity. Are those going to continue?
Yeah, today we have 226 searchers, a pretty astronomical number. I think the overhead team at the search and rescue, they deployed out all 226 members within about an hour, and so that's a pretty big feat on its own. They've extensively been planning and prepping overnight so that when people get here, we're ready to roll. The area has been walked, driven, flown, grid searched. They're getting into tighter grid searching to, at this point we're looking for small and anything evidence-wise, as opposed to cars, people, things of that nature, even phones, as opposed to cars, people, things of that nature, even phones. We're trying to make it even tighter. We had swimmers we announced the other day that actually did surface swimming, so we don't want to disturb the water even underneath, because that can cause its own problems. And divers have been deployed at this point as well to assist in the search, and it's been pretty thorough overall.
Could you tell us what body of water and what time that last ping was?
The Prosser Lake is where we're focused on right now. The Prosser Lake is where we're focused on right now.
There was, this morning I was out by Prosser and there was a dive team from Alameda. But just a few feet to the side there were people recreating and people going by in a canoe. Are you not afraid about them disturbing any possible evidence that could be there?
Yeah, you balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover like certain area and ground and things like that. So there's always a concern, but we also don't have like a, hey, this is the area. And so at what point do you cut off the entire Forest Service and things like that?
So in those two clips, he mentions that they're focusing on Prosser Lake, and the Alameda Dive Team is out there searching, but they were only allowed to go 25 feet. This is so unfortunate because they were right there, and had they been allowed to go out further, they potentially could have found her vehicle. So I know a lot of people have been speculating that maybe her vehicle was dumped into the water after, but in order to really know that, we need to know where specifically these dive teams searched and when. And so far, the only specific location that we have is from the Alameda Dive Team. So it just makes me wonder, were any of the other dive teams restricted to the area that they were allowed to search? Did Placer or Nevada County thoroughly search that Prosser Reservoir?